Hi dollies, welcome to my fourth vlog. In this video, I would like to show you the private view and curator's tour of the highly anticipated Barbie exhibition at the Design Museum London. I will be bringing my proudly pink silkstone Barbie. She is a 60th anniversary collector's doll and I love her so much. I'm coming with my husband who's also very excited for this exhibition. We decided to do quick lunch first before heading to Design Museum. I got a yummy mushroom broth ramen. Design Museum is one of my favorite museums in London, and I'm very grateful for this private view invitation. After signing in with the friendly press team, I received a cute Barbie and Design Museum collaboration notebook. Then we took some quick photos at the pink Barbie packaging booth. From here on, I will let the curator talk to share her insightful information about this wonderful exhibition.
What I'm going to do is walk you through the show and give you the overview of what it's all about, why we did this, and a bit of insight into the process of making it happen. I know that a lot of you here are already extremely knowledgeable about Barbie, and for those of you for whom that is the case, I'm sorry if I'm telling you what you already know, but I hope that even if you are coming at this from the perspective of a Barbie fan, that there is still something new to surprise, interest and entertain you. So this show, as you may know, has been done as a collaboration with Mattel. Obviously, Mattel are the custodians of the Barbie brand, the Barbie identity, and so we've collaborated with them closely to realise this, although the actual curation, the narrative, the selection of the objects has all come from us. But you can thank them for the fact that it's pink, obviously. So in here, and please enjoy the hair chandelier, because I literally spent hours going over this with straighteners. From the first concept sketches, through the prototyping phase, to the finished product at the far end. And you can buy this doll in the shop. The story of Ken is just as fascinating and detailed as the story of Barbie, because he's been on a journey too. And I really think that the way in which Ken is presented over the decades says something quite fundamental about our ideas of masculinity, and specifically how masculinity is presented to children. It's a sort of filtered, sanitized version of, I guess, heterosexual desire implicitly, but in reality, people have read a lot of different things into Ken and what he stands for. So I'll leave you to make it. one of the main themes in this space is play, and how, because of course, I know there are a lot of very dedicated adult Barbie fans and Barbie collectors, but originally Barbie was a toy and still is a toy. I have pointed out to Mattel that she's not been a museum curator yet.
Yes.
And I have pitched very hard for the idea that they should introduce one that looks suspiciously like me. My DMs are open. But we wanted to take, again, a kind of thematic look at the careers and what they mean in terms of representing women in the workforce, what that says about the idea that the work that we do is somehow fundamental to our identity, which is a notion that not everybody agrees with. So wanted to explore that a bit. And we've also got, you can see this board game here. So 1963, and it's a board game that you played to work out what was your dream career, what was your dream Barbie career. Which is really interesting because it shows that the idea of career Barbies were actually present from a really early stage. This isn't like a recent innovation. Here are some of the displays looking at the world of Barbie. So this is the architecture of the dream house over the years and how it's changed. In the far corner for me where I'm pointing is the very first Barbie dream house, 1962, and it's an absolute mid-century modern dream. It's all like wood finishes and some bright saturated colours. There's even a little framed picture of Ken, which is very cute. We've got some wonderful examples of Barbie furniture and cars across the decades, and we look at how those respond to the trends of the time. Look at the influence of California specifically on Barbie and Barbie's world, because of course Mattel is an LA-based company. It always has been. Barbie was invented in California. And there are aspects of Californian design, architecture, beach culture, hippie counterculture of the 60s and 70s that have had a massive influence on the look of the doll and of her world. And this gal, by the way, is who I want to be right now. She's having her best life on her sun lounger, and I'm actually very jealous. This kind of Barbie equals pink idea was just not a thing. So you can see here, a lot of these earlier products, they're red, yellow, orange. There's a whole sort of rainbow spectrum of colours. Steps on the moon. Of course women can be astronauts, why not? Just unquestioning, let's just tell small girls predominantly that they can be an astronaut. This astronaut with the red band around her leg, this is actually a tribute doll. So this is created in the likeness of Samantha Cristoforetti, who is an astronaut with the European Space Agency, and she was actually the first female captain of the International Space Station. This actual doll has been in space. And we've got some footage playing here of the doll. So Cristoforetti brought the doll aboard the ISS with her. And we've got a little zero gravity orbit floating Barbie here, which is a lot of fun. So this is the actual one that went in space. So she's better traveled than any of us. And it's very cool that we have her waving down there. Everything turns pink. In the 1980s, all the cars, the furniture, the houses, every accessory you can think of is rendered in pink. And we've got some of the examples here. As I see it, and again, this is my own opinion rather than Mattel's official position, but I think what the design of Barbie is doing at this time is echoing the fact that society is increasingly small c conservative. And this is the era of Thatcher and Reagan, and after the kind of, the counterculture moment of the 60s and 70s, there is a return to in interior trends. the return to traditionalism, antique furniture, floral and chintz patterns, and it's also it's also an era of, I guess, of aspirational opulence. You have the Dynasty in Dallas playing on the TV, and there's this sense that more is better, shinier, bigger, more luxurious is better, and that I really think we see reflected in the Barbie vision of the world. As is the case with Barbie throughout this exhibition, the dolls that are issued and when they are issued are always tracking onto trends in popular culture. So for example, Barbie and the Rockers is, well, I think no prizes for guessing that that's from the 1980s. And then to the right, this very large earringed lady is Rappin' Rockin' Barbie. That is her name. We had to remove the batteries from her boombox because the temptation to keep playing the beat was too much. But she's interesting because she's issued in the early 90s, and this comes just a year or two after the hip-hop music genre is, for want of a better phrase, crossing over into the mainstream, i.e. white people start listening to hip-hop. And you have the kind of crossover commercial success of acts like Run DMC who are collaborating, with rock bands. Spike Lee's film Do the Right Thing is like massively successful at the box office. And I think this doll is a great example of what Mattel have always been very successful at, which is reflecting a kind of mainstream idea of taste and popular culture. Mattel have, throughout their history, almost always been very good at presenting Barbie in a way that speaks to just that moment in culture where something is trendy enough to be desirable, aspirational, especially to children, but not so ahead of the curve that it fails to resonate. None of this comes into being by accident. Barbie is always designed in a very intentional and very deliberate way to connect with culture, as I said, at that critical moment where it's popular but not too popular. I think there's an argument to be made that the history of Barbie is actually the history of mainstream Western popular culture over the last 65 years. It's a history of late capitalist consumerism. The way in which Barbie has this kind of persistent image in popular culture, and also look at just a few examples of work by other designers and creatives that is a response to Barbie. So we've got here, for example, some of the Barbie dolls that are dressed by notable fashion designers. You can see, of course, we have this absolutely exquisite Richard Quinn couture guide from his 2021 catwalk collection, and Mattel created this unique custom Barbie, which is a miniature recreation of the dress, and that was all sewed by hand, doll completely painted by hand. The custom Barbies are completely a work of handcraft from start to finish. We have instead the photograph of Warhol with his canvas. Incidentally, any modern art, I was going to say nerds, but I think enthusiasts is a politer word, might recognise that the decor of this room is kind of a nod to Warhol's factory, which was clad in silver foil. And if you think about it, Warhol and Barbie is such an appropriate match. Because Warhol's work was all about celebrity, mass production, reproducibility of the image, and the idea that you can be famous even if it's only 15 minutes. So Barbie is a kind of mass-produced pop culture icon. I think the perfect subject for the perfect artist. Probably the best known creative response to what Barbie is, what the Barbie design legacy is. So the costume designer, Jacqueline Durant, and the set designers, Sarah Greenwood and Kate Spencer. They're all British designers and they've all been Oscar nominated for their work on the film. We wanted to show just a couple of examples of how they delved into the Barbie archives and their interpretation of that. So we've got, as many of you have recognised, this is the original rollerblading costume from the film. So this is the actual costume worn by Margot Robbie, which Warner Brothers kindly lent to us. And here we've got the original hot skating Barbie on which this costume is based. We've also got, again, the actual original shoes worn by Margot in the film. For those of you who remember the shot where she steps out of her heels and her feet are still in a high heel position, it's these shoes. We are the same size. I was not allowed to try them.
That's the end of the exhibition. Are you a Barbie collector yourself? And which one is your favorite? Now let's check out the gift shop. They also have a dedicated gift shop just outside of the museum with all of the Barbie and related merchandise. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you gained some insightful information about Barbie and how it relates to the design world. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and please help me share this video. Bye!